Welcome to Jay's Gamepad, everybody, and all my fellow G's out there. Welcome back. Welcome. Before we get this started, I just want to make it clear that I have played this game on the PS4 Pro, and I have played it twice from beginning to end on normal and hard mode, and I have also played it on the mercenary mode as well. So with that being said, this is my review of Resident Evil Village. Resident Evil Village, better known as Resident Evil 8, developed by Capcom's godlike RE engine, a first-person survival horror game that's a direct continuation of Resident Evil 7. So for those out there that haven't played Resident Evil 7, you might want to go play Resident Evil 7 before you play 8. The game picks up 3 years after Resident Evil 7. Ethan and Maya have both been relocated to an unknown place in Europe with the help of Chris Redfield to basically start their new life with their new baby daughter Rosemary. One evening, Chris raids the yard, basically just assassinates Mia, puts 2 bullets in her head, basically takes Ethan and Rosemary. Then later on, Ethan just wakes up next to some crashed transport truck nearby some mysterious village that's being terrorized by these werewolf creatures. Everything is kind of like basically centered around Mother Miranda and the Four Lords, while also connecting the story and the lore of the original Resident Evil game, which is actually really cool. And overall, like, the story is really good. But it's a little bit convenient at times with a few plot holes, which is kind of like normal and quite common with a lot of Capcom games, especially with Resident Evil games as well. So you kind of expect it, but either way, it's still good. The story and the plot is really good. Graphically, this game looks godlike. I don't care, man. Like, I'm just gonna say it. Resident Evil Village looks godlike. This game looks amazing. Capcom are masters when it comes to using the RE engine. Clearly, they are just improving with every game they seem to make. The game looked better than Resident Evil 7, and Resident Evil 7 looked godlike when it came out. Resident Evil 8 has like this similar tone and feel to Resident Evil 4. I don't know, maybe it's because of the village aspect of it as well, and it also has like this Castlevania vibe, and that's probably because you get to play in the castle, which is actually really cool. You got like basically like 4 lords, you got 4 areas to play in, and they all look and feel completely different. Very creative in their own way, and I like that. I never came across any screen tears, any bugs and glitches, which is a good thing, and everything just looks real lifelike, very high attention to detail. This game just looks phenomenal. This game is godlike, man. This game looks so good, and to be honest with you, I can't expect it because it's Capcom and it's the RE engine, and they are masters of using this engine. The gameplay. What can I say about the gameplay in this game? I think that Capcom, was very smart basing this game in the Eastern European village that's much more larger and immersive than Resident Evil 7. Like, that's a very smart choice. The fact that you've got structures and buildings, at the central village that can be climbed and used for combat when you're fighting enemies, that's actually really cool. Another level of immersiveness. The game is way more and much more focused, action focused, with you being able to equip more combat skills due to even having military training from the first game to this game, which is actually like, really good. The game's primary enemies are the werewolf lycans, and are not only agile, but they are intelligent, but they wield weapons and attacking packs, forcing you to rethink whether you're gonna utilize your rare ammo, try to fight them, melee attacks, or simply just run away and be like, fuck this shit, I ain't getting bitten, and I definitely ain't getting torn up by them. Like, allow that, I'm gone. You know what I'm saying? And the game is very similar in many ways, to Resident Evil 4, with a makeshift barricade that you can use to fend off enemies. So for example, if you're trapped in a building or a house, you can border up the windows, you can use wardrobes to barricade and cover the doors, so it's more harder for the enemies or the lycans to actually break in and attack you and kill you, which is actually really cool. You've also got the infantry management mechanics, which is similar to, again, Resident Evil 4, featuring the briefcase and the ability to move and rotate items for better storage space, which is cool. And you can buy supplies, weapons, upgrades and items from the merchant called the Duke, which is also again similar to Resident Evil 4. Like, you're starting to see that Capcom decided to use the best features in other Resident Evil games, and I just say, why not? Why not use the best features to make a better game? You can also hunt animals in the village and have them cooked into dishes by the Duke. Eating side dishes also allows you, the player, to gain certain advantages such as decreasing damage, while blocking the enemy. So when you're fighting, they're trying to like chop you or bite you, less damage, which is cool. Can't complain. And you've got treasures and collectibles that can be found all around the village and also sold by the Duke for currency. So if you want to buy guns, weapons and other items, you can just trade them in and buy them things if that's what you want to do. And players can manually save game progress by locating and using typewriters, which has replaced the tape recorders in Resident Evil 7. So that's cool. I'm saying, why not I'll go back to like the old format using typewriters. So that's kind of cool. And and you got Mother Miranda and the 4 Lord boss fights. They all felt different in their own way, felt very good and satisfying. And yeah, I was actually enjoying boss fights because it wasn't repetitive. If they're different, they've got different abilities, then the fighting and the combat's going to be different, and I like that. You got the map of the village that can be accessed from a pause menu, as well as a diary with sketches recapping the player's progress in the story, which is really cool. I love the artistic side of that, like the way they incorporate that, which is completely different to any other Resident Evil game. So I do like that. It's very, very cool. And and you've got the 2 new features added to the game, where you got photo mode, which gives you, the player, the opportunity to take screenshots in game, to capture the moments, and a button to skip cutscenes, which is actually really cool because, for example, first time I played the game, I never skipped the cutscenes because obviously I wanted to know the story and I was enjoying the game. I was letting it flow. The second time, I just wanted to skip them, apart from the really, really good cutscenes, so to have that option is a bonus. Like, can't go wrong. So like, overall the gameplay is really good and fun, which is the most important thing to me, and Capcom have clearly made big improvements from Resident Evil 7, and the gameplay in this game is really, really good, and I have no complaints at all. What can I say about the soundtrack and score? Or better yet, what can I say about the sound effects and voice acting? And do you know what, like, I'm gonna keep it real, like, the soundtrack and score in this game is actually really good, but it's not amazing. And I say that to say that, like, if I compare it to Resident Evil 5 and Resident Evil 6 soundtrack, them 2 soundtracks were godlike. I don't care, out of every Resident Evil game I've played, yeah, them 2 soundtracks are the best soundtracks I've ever heard in any Resident Evil game, period. Resident Evil 7 soundtrack is good, but it's not amazing. Resident Evil 8 soundtrack is better, but again, it's still not amazing. Like, for example, like, the score was good and it fit the tone of the game, as well as the themes of the bosses and the stages, which is really good. No complaints. The sound effects of the weapons sounded authentic and believable. No issues there. The voice acting in this game is always A1, an A1 performance. Like, you can guarantee, yeah, that the voice actors will always put in and give you a good performance. Regardless of how cheesy or corny the script might be, they always give a really good performance. So overall, like, the soundtrack and score and the sound effects and the voice acting, they're all really, really good. It's just the soundtrack and score, in terms of the music and stuff, it could have been better when I compare it to the other aspects of the game. But look, it's still good, man. It's still really, really, really good. Do I have any bad points or issues in regards to this game? And the truth is, I do. I have a few issues. You could probably call them nitpicks, but I do. I gotta keep it 100. So, for example, my first issue is the fact that you never get to see Ethan's face. And I really believe that this is a missed opportunity. Capcom should have made the character customizable, or at least made his face customizable. So therefore, we would have more of a connection to the character as the player, and it would have made the game more immersive. So, some people would say, oh, okay, well, that's why, like, you never get to see his face, so you can picture yourself as the main character. But again, they could have done that by allowing you to customize the character or to customize the character's face, and it could have made it even more immersive. So I feel like that was a missed opportunity. Secondly, for some reason, the game just felt easy to play on normal mode. I don't know why, but it just did. When I compare it to Resident Evil 7, like, Resident Evil 7 just felt harder to play on normal mode, and Resident Evil 8 just feels more easier. I don't know if they did it on purpose, whether to allow more people to play it and enjoy it, but it just felt easy. Thirdly, even though, like, this game is big and technically is bigger than Resident Evil 7, for some reason Resident Evil 7 feels like a bigger game. I don't know why, I don't know how, I don't know if it's because of the flow of the game, the way the game flows and stuff like that. but for some reason Resident Evil 7 just feels a little bit bigger, and it shouldn't. Like, I shouldn't have that feeling, especially when you're making, you know, the next part of the franchise. Like, it shouldn't feel like that, but for some reason it does. Maybe it's just me, maybe it's just a personal thing. And last but not least, I don't like the storage space in this game. Like, or correction, not that I don't like it, I just feel like that it doesn't make sense. And I say that to say because you've got so many items and so many weapons, is that like you can never have them in the suitcase. You can never store them in the suitcase. Regardless if you can rotate them and move them around like a puzzle, you can never have all the weapons or even the majority of the weapons. So what's the point? And it's annoying. It wouldn't be so bad if you only had like 5 weapons and you could actually like fit them in the suitcase, but that's not the case. You've got so many weapons and so many items, you can't hold them all. You can't have them all in the suitcase. So that's a little bit annoying. But to be honest with you, other than that, like, that's about it really, you know what I mean? Like, they're just like little nitpicks and little issues that I had. You know, they didn't spoil the game, didn't ruin the game for me, but there were just certain things, you know, like quality of life things, should I say, that I felt like they could have done to improve it. But maybe that's just a personal preference, I don't know. So they're the bad and negative things or issues that I had with the game. What are my final thoughts? What are my final thoughts in regards to this game? Let me think. Do you know what? Let me just stop capping. This game is easily one of the best games of 2021 and contender for Game of the Year. Easily. This game has got replayability with Chapter Select, New Game Plus, and the Mercenary mode. This game has got everything you could ask for. Quality, correction, not quality, quality AAA game. That's what this game is. Quality. This game has got me looking forward to seeing what Capcom's gonna do with Resident Evil 9, where they're gonna take the story. And do you know what? Yeah, like, the last time I actually felt like that I was actually looking forward to the next installment was from like Resident Evil 5 and 6. Even when I played Resident Evil 7, I wasn't looking forward to Resident Evil 8, but Resident Evil 8 has got me looking forward to Resident Evil 9. That's what this game has done for me. This game is godlike. And do you know what? If I have to give you my final score, and you know what, I'm saying it like I really have a choice. This game is easily a 9.5 out of 10 with a strong recommendation to buy and keep this game. And do you know what, yeah? If you try and buy this game right now, this game is holding at £40, whether you're buying it second hand or brand new. And that is a very strong indication if a game is godlike, by the fact that it's holding its price. This game has been out for months and months. And the game, you can't pick this game up for any less than $40. That tells you everything you need to know. Why are you wasting your time? Why are you listening and watching this review? Go and buy the game. If you like Resident Evil games, you like survival horror games, go and pick this game up. If you played Resident Evil 7 and you liked it and you enjoyed it, why haven't you played this game yet? What, are you waiting for the game to drop down in price? Do you know what? Normally I would say wait for certain games to drop in price, but this is an exception. Go and buy this game for £40. If you can find it cheaper, God bless you. But go and buy it, go and play it, you won't regret it. This is such a good game, such a godlike game. So that was my final score, and yeah, I hope you enjoyed it. And that was my review of Resident Evil Village. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please like and subscribe and hit the bell notification if you like man's content or any of my content. You can also hit me up on the social, Twitter, Instagram and Twitch, Jay's Gamepad across the board. You ain't got tap, press, anything else but that. And also, if you want to hit me up on PlayStation, then my gamer name is MrGhostProtocol. So I guess I will see you and speak to you real soon.